What's going on, Sideboard podcast listeners? This is your host, Caleb Williamson. Joining me today, we have Tim, and he is our co-host. Tim, how's it going?
It's going pretty well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Just had a little bit of soda, so might be burping, but
Nice.
that's
Feeling
okay.
a little bit of power now.
Yep. Sweet. So we have a couple topics for you guys today. We're just going to go over the expansions that came out like a week or two ago. There we go. See, another burp. So those expansions, I picked some up. Tim picked some up. We're just going to go over the, quality of them, the decks we played with, the new cards, and talk about the expansions a little bit. And then we'll move on to set 12 spoilers. So we got that sick video and some actual card images, which is pretty sweet. And then, we'll move on to something else at the very end. So let's get started. So the expansions, personally, I picked up 2 of each. Did you were able to get some, right, Tim?
Yes, I did the same. I also got 2 of each.
Yeah, I think if you're planning on just, playing competitive or being completionist, then you just get 2 of each. So that way you have all the cards. So what do you think of them? What do you think of, first thoughts, packaging, contents, all that stuff, price point?
So I thought the packaging on this one was good. We've had a few other supplemental products, the last few of them, that I really didn't like how they were packaged. This one was nice though. It was nice and clean, not a whole lot of extra junk. The die that it came with was very nice. I was pleasantly surprised. I'm glad that they're larger dice. You know that I love those.
Right. I think you pretty much borrow my large rolling dice
every time
we play a match.
Yeah, the only thing on the dice I wish was different was that the dots and the little DBS symbol was a different color, because the red and the orange are just too close together and it's hard to tell what side or what's on the face up side.
Yeah, so you wish the pips were a different color. I think white would have been good.
Yeah, white or something dark. Just something that was away from the like orangey reddish color. So it was distinct.
Yeah, I was surprised by the dice. When I saw them on video from some people that got the product early, I thought they were small, but they're actually pretty large, and that's, it's very satisfying to roll large dice.
Oh yeah.
So I was pretty surprised by those dice. So moving more towards the cards themselves, I think we both agree that the cards were whatever, but the foiling
is poop.
Oh my gosh. I think I would have rather had them non-foil.
Yeah. I kind of agree. They feel a lot to me like the old From the Vault things they did with Magic, where the foiling was basically just like a sticker. That's kind of what these feel like. They also feel a lot thicker than other cards. I don't know if you've noticed that or not.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know, they feel different from all other DBS cards, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they switched manufacturers or what the deal is. Maybe their manufacturer, is doing a different style of printing or something. My biggest thing is, like, I wish they were just the same as the older ones, because there was nothing wrong with those cards.
Yep.
And,
also like the like aura or energy aesthetic on like around the characters, with all of the foil just being like a blanket foiling, it just doesn't pop. It just feels kind of muddied when you look at them.
Yeah, and there's no texture either.
Yeah. So I
Um,
don't know. I wish that the subjects in the card arts popped a little bit from the backgrounds.
right. Yeah. Yeah, so that was a little disappointing. I was actually really surprised, taking it back a couple steps, by the packaging itself. There wasn't any like excess packaging, which was nice. And then the fact that it was a little bit more expensive at like 17-18 bucks, but it came with 3 boosters was kind of cool. But on the same regard, I mean, it makes sense why they put the set 10 boosters in the one and then the set 11 in the other, but it was kind of like,
You wish it was just all set 11.
yeah, because I was like, wait, I'm pulling old cards because I bought a case of set 10, we both did.
Yeah.
And it was like Frieza, Counterplay, SPR. I was like, oh, sick, I got 4 of those already.
Yeah. I mean, it does feel bad, but also that specific expansion was like 4 set 10 decks, so it makes sense.
Yeah, that's
It
why I
just
was
would
like,
have been
okay,
cool
well,
if
that
they
makes
had
sense.
done that expansion with set 10 and not set 11.
Right, yeah, it made total sense, so I was fine with it. At the end of the day, I was just kind of shocked.
Yeah, but what are there any specific cards out of the expansions that you particularly were interested in or have tested out a bit?
Yeah, so last Thursday we had a little thing in my place, and I got to play the garlic deck for the first time in sleeves, and let me just tell you, it was pretty hot. Getting the 5-drop out on turn 2, like almost every game, as well as their negate is busted. Like,
Yeah, it's really
super busted.
I know I see a lot of lists for it only play like 2 or 3, but I have 4 in mine.
Bro,
Because
I mean,
it's like
it's
almost
Dormant plus.
always gonna have its secondary effect.
even if it's not, it's still just a negate and a yellow card. So like,
Yeah.
Also, and then if you're doing what the deck's supposed to do,
Then it's just a better Nimbus every time.
it's the best negate in the game compared to like Dormant, because it negates the attack and they only get 1 more swing,
Well,
and it's just straight free.
Second best. Baby Hatch.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah, non-SCR best negate.
Yeah, it's like really, really good. I'm actually gonna take these off real quick. That's better.
Yeah, I have it sleeved up minus the tournament promo Chi-Chis because I just haven't ordered them yet. But the deck seems like a lot of fun. Even before the expansion, it looked really fun. It just needed that little bit of boost that it got with the new 3-drop.
Yeah, it needed the SR to be able to come out turn 2 for sure. That's what puts it up to the like playable top tier competitive level.
Yeah, I definitely see it probably around like tier 1.5 to maybe if enough people work on the deck enough, maybe we might see it jump into tier 1 as like the more fringe tier 1 deck.
It'll just struggle against Vegex because they main for BMS, and BMS hurts the deck a lot.
That's true.
But that's it. That's like the only card that hurts the deck.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. Maybe Vegex ends up getting pushed out of the format with the next set. There's a lot of crazy stuff that we were shown.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't announce a banless update for set 12.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure there will be one as we get closer. They'll like announce that there's one incoming.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see much of anything that's a problem right now, so...
Yeah, I agree, but I mean, we've gotten bans and erratas before when the format was healthy.
Yeah, for the most part.
So we'll see what happens, but yeah, Garlic's looking pretty sweet. And then you had another one that you played.
Yes, the Ginyu deck, which I thought was basically trash preset pre-expansion set format. But you guys kind of talked me into playing it with the new expansion card because it had a problem of like consistency. You have to get like your Goldo out to rearrange the top 3 and all that sort of thing, and it was just super fragile to like any sort of interaction. But now with that new Ginyu, it's like
it's really good.
Yeah, and you can play it several different ways. You know, you can go mono green, you can go green yellow, which adds like a mid-range thing, and you get to play Bloodlust. You can go, successor build. Like, it's pretty solid. I'd say a solid like tier 2 deck.
Yeah, I think at least splashing yellow, even if you're not casting anything with yellow, you should at least include some yellow cards because you also get is it Helix Strike? There's a Ginyu that you can pay an energy, discard it, and then like put a 2-drop Ginyu Force into play or something. Or like tutor one into play.
I don't like that card very much, but yeah, you can play all those other yellow Ginyu cards.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's that other older yellow one that has like, I think when you combo it, all your Ginyu Force get +10 for the turn or something.
They get, it's something like that. One of the new Ginyu does that too. He gives +10 when you free play him.
Okay, I think this one's it's when you combo it, it gives all your Ginyus.
It's like it's a dash back from
the older one.
Yeah, you can play some of those cards, but yeah. So, and then also, I forget exactly. The leader gets to awaken when you have all the Ginyu Force or something like that. And so, like, you get to awaken at like 7 life sometimes, and it's kind of scary.
Let's see, Ginyu Force awaken 4 life, or if you have 4 or more Ginyu Force cards in play.
Yeah, so
I mean, you can easily do that turn 2.
Right.
Especially
and so awakening at 7 or 8 is not uncommon.
Let me find the special trait so I can look at that yellow one. I think it's Helix Strike. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's that one. So that one, you pay an energy, discard it, and then you get to look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put a Ginyu Force into your hand, and then you can put a 2 or less Ginyu Force into play. So like if you do that into one of the green ones that's not the expansion one, I think it's the Guldo that lets you basically scry 5. Yeah. So you can do that turn 1, or you can go into the Raccoon off of it.
Yeah.
So you can go Raccoon into Guldo off of the Helix Strike. And then still scry 5 at the end of turn. And then you've already got 2 in play.
Right. Yeah, and then it plays the new Slug. It's like your favorite draft box card.
The draft box 6 one.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I mean, it's all right. Like, it gave the deck like a mid-range card.
I feel because I mean, it needed something to do besides play Ginyu Force guys because they all have unique.
And you die to like dormant type things.
Yeah, so like getting a bunch of them into play, successoring a few of them off, and then just replaying them again because you're probably going to have extra copies in hand since they have unique. Right. It just feels like something the deck needed.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I haven't put that one together yet because I'm trying to locate where some of my green staples are after we came back from Rancho.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know the feeling.
But yeah, let me pull the expansions back up. There were a couple other ones that I was looking at. I'll probably build them just to try them once or twice and then decide that I don't want to play it if I can ever find the expansion.
I know Brandon tested out Trunks, the new Trunks card, Said it was all right. It's kind of, whatever, cute, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, with that deck, there's not a whole lot of extra space.
Right. And so you don't get to play like the generically good stuff or things that are going to put you over the top.
But I mean, maybe it'll get figured out enough to at least be like a good locals option or something like that. The deck still seems super interesting. I also kind of think the yellow Go Tanks one is worth exploring. Because what the expansion one does is it basically lets you rest mode something ignoring barrier when you discard it for fusion.
Right.
And then the
Which
7
helps
drop
your-
can kill
yeah.
something with barrier, but it had to be in rest mode, which was the problem.
Right.
So this kind of solves the problem of the 7 drop.
Yeah, I like that card too. I feel like that deck's super solid.
So maybe this is what it was missing.
Right. But yeah, those are the only 2 decks I tested out.
Yeah, the other cards out of that expansion, it was the Shenron Unison, the red one, and then the Toa. I don't think the Toa is going to see play. I don't think it's very good.
No, I doubt
the
it.
red Shenron thing, it's cool, but like I feel like the ceiling of what you can do with it is just play Yamcha the Lawless.
Yeah, like I was trying to build a deck with that card, and our things as an archetype, they don't like.
They're on
I
the
don't know,
struggle bus.
It's a complete value deck, right? Like you don't really do anything except draw cards.
Yeah.
And play 15k dudes.
Yep.
So you either have to find a way to win by doing that, or play some sort of engine that isn't Earthling, like the Gogeta engine or something like that.
Yeah, it pulls you in a bunch of weird directions, and I just don't think it gives enough of an upside compared to the other unisons you can play.
Yeah, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, so
yeah, that was it for the
the other one
testing.
that I'm interested in is the SS4 Vegeta one.
For the ramp deck?
Yeah. I don't know if it'll make its way into being worth playing, but I mean, if you can ramp one time with your leader, say you UI Kamehameha turn 1, turn 2 you're at 3 energy. That means on turn 3 you can just slam your dude, unless it gets God ceilinged. But any other counterplay, even if it's a Frieza, doesn't matter, because you're going to get the auto off and play your unison.
Right.
And that unison is extremely good. On the other side, if they don't kill it, you're in a pretty good position for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I like it. The deck, I feel like just like, I don't know, against like Vegex where they just go berserk turn 1 and 2 with their milling, I feel like you just die.
Yeah, well, I mean, like every deck dies to that though.
Most. Some don't.
Yeah. I think the only other one that myself or others have been remotely interested in is the Majin Buu or the Majin Vegeta deck. I don't think that this one is a 4 of in the deck because you were only playing a 2-2 split of the other 3 drops to begin with. I think this one is maybe a 1 or 2 of. If you do 2 of this, then you cut the others down to 1, but even that kind of feels bad because like one of the other ones you want against green because it has barrier, the other one you want against blue because it has deflect. This one, all it does is put your 7 drop in your hand, which is good, but like it doesn't matter if your thing is bounced or dies.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those things where, you know, it's maybe like, I don't know, sideboard material, I guess, if you're going up against a matchup where the 7-drop is like detrimental, you could side in that guy or something. Maybe
Yeah,
just a one of would be fine.
That's what I'm thinking. Probably go up to 5 total copies of a 3-drop and just throw in one of these guys as your 5th 3-drop.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah, I don't think the Mira is that great personally. And then the Red Gogeta, I just think it's worse than the other Gogeta stuff you have to play.
Yeah, same.
But
I think that about concludes
on from expansions. Before we hit our next topic, we want to mention our sponsor and places for you guys to go check out. Our shop sponsor for the channel, if you're looking for any sealed product or holiday game related needs, check out madtowntcg.com. They've got great deals on sealed product, some cool stuff like terrariums and whatnot for the holidays. Really cool shop. Check them out, get some product. If you're looking for any singles that we have just mentioned or any that we might mention later on, no matter what game it's for, please use our TCGPlayer affiliate link. Helps us out a whole bunch, costs you a whopping $0. And then our merch store. As you guys watching the video can see, I'm wearing my sweatshirt right now. It is extremely warm, which is nice in the cold months. I'd appreciate if you guys picked up some merch. And I know I say this every time, I do plan on having some new stuff up in the next few weeks, hopefully. A lot busier now with my job starting back up. But working on it. We'll get some new stuff up, but check out the merch store. All 3 of those places will be linked in the description.
Yes, check out all of those things. We would appreciate it. And even if you don't buy anything, just give us a like or a comment, subscribe on the videos. That also helps quite a lot as well.
And share them.
Yeah, share them with all your friends.
Share the love, people.
Get them into the games, because we talk about more than one game on here.
That is true.
Yep.
We do that.
All right, so moving on to our next subject, which is going to be set 12. We got spoilers, boys. You know what that means.
That
all of the discussion
video was so hype.
Bro.
I was like ready to leave your house, and then you were like,
but this video.
Hey, they released the announcement video. And then it's like the normal like intro they have to it where it's like super corny with the voice, whoever the voice actor is, sounding all like ominous. And then like the first character or whatever actually revealed is just like, I was losing my mind.
I think it was let's see, I have the video right here. The first character reveal, like the first leader that they show.
Not leader, just like the actual character.
Oh,
I think it was like, Mechi, wasn't it?
Yeah, they show
Mechi, the Dark Demon stuff.
And then like Piccolo and Janemba and all that.
I was mega hype when they showed PyCon.
Dude, I'm not a Namekian guy. They kind of rubbed me the wrong way from Panini, but that was pretty cool. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
King Piccolo.
There's some cool stuff in here. I know there's one that a lot of people are probably like mega hyped, like beyond PyCon level hyped, and that was Launch.
Yeah, Launch is interesting. I think the thing I like most about this set reveal is that it seemed very fresh, in the sense that they're adding like a bunch of new mechanics. We got like Rejuvenate, actually a lot of Rejuvenate. We got the Frieza who doesn't die by taking damage. He just dies by having all his life flipped up.
There's that new mechanic of a couple different leaders having their life flip up and then they do things.
Yeah. Lord Slug draws for both players, which is weird.
Yeah, and then it
just things like that.
like loses power if your opponent has a small hand or something like that, which is like
Yeah.
the complete opposite of the old Lord Slug.
Right. Yep. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff. They chose a lot of very interesting and I think very wanted characters.
Yeah, definitely. I'm appreciating the non-repetitiveness that they're going into.
Yeah,
Some of this stuff.
it feels good. Now, some of the effects and stuff like that are kind of interesting. And
Some of the stuff's kind of dumb.
Yeah, some of them are like borderline probably not okay, but also some of them are like, but why?
Yeah, right. Like they're making a whole Janemba deck now, which is, I mean, it was cool back in the day, kind of dumb back in the day, all mill and stuff. Most people forgot about the crit Nimba, what they call it, but now you got this new Janemba.
All these new shiny Janembas, and oh my god, you have a field spell that gives them barrier. In case you forgot about that.
There's another one.
What? Oh, that's right. Well, the other one just finds you a 3-drop to play to go into the Xeno. I still think you played the other one.
Barrier is cool, but some of the Xenos won't get it because they're Janemba
That's
Xeno.
right. That's fine.
Yeah, it means that your deck can't lose to green, or they can't, counterplay you. It's like, nah, bro, I have barrier.
Yeah. So I think the only thing in like the one playable or meta green deck that can touch barrier is the 5-drop Go Tanks.
Yes.
I think that's it.
And red. Red has some stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
So yeah, giving like your whole deck barrier seems pretty good.
Yeah. Seems hot.
One that I was really questioning is the Goku and Vegeta Xeno, and then on the backside it's Gogeta Xeno.
Of course you're questioning it, Tim. It's black deck.
I don't understand. Like, I get it, they're giving a whole bunch of like black fusion cards in the set, but
this is the
black they don't seem that great later.
This is black Go Tanks,
and like all of the fusion pieces are 1-drops, and so like if people just start spamming 1-drops, people are just gonna start mainboarding 4 Crisis Crushers again, like the good old days of old.
Yeah, I mean, card's interesting. It dies to like anything though. But,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's cool. Whatever.
Crisis Crusher just scoops this deck up.
I wonder if. Well, no, never mind.
I could be wrong.
I don't know. The deck could be cool. We'll see.
It's also very weird that the leader, instead of milling the 5 cards, it puts them directly into your warp.
Yeah, it's like, nah, this deck doesn't get to have a drop. Like, wait, what?
It's so weird. Well, like, not even overwhelm, but like now your power burst is like unplayable.
Well,
unless they give us a power burst or the warp.
They're on, shallow water, thin ice, or whatever you want to call it, with black cards, because like anything they give to black, they have to make sure it doesn't buff Vegex.
That's true, I guess.
Okay.
The downside of having another deck that I love is they can't print good cards in the color.
It's like the most consistent deck for like the past 6 months or something like that.
Yep. Yes, it is.
But also in black is that Dark Mask King.
Yes, I mentioned that to you earlier. That card is sick.
Boys.
That is a big boy.
You asked for a finisher, we gave you a finisher.
Yeah, I feel like black's finisher since Vegex came out has just been Splintering Mind. But
Not
it needed
anymore.
it needed a sticky finisher. Is like usually Splintering Mind deals 1 damage and then it dies.
This guy's just a whole bunch of things.
This is just a big beefy boy. Except against green, because then it'll just die to a charismatic villain.
Bro, so hot take. Imagine if this card was a 30k and you can tutor it with Dark Broly. It's not, it's a 25, but imagine if it was 30. You can just be like, oh, I'm going to pick this up and play it on turn 4.
That's probably why it's a 25k. Yeah, this should have made it a 35. No.
4 mana 35? No, dude. No.
Totally. It's like the only finisher Black has. Come on.
You already are like a million power when you swing anyways.
That's true. I feel like for the other black deck, the Shroom and Salsa, it's really weird seeing a deck that wants you to play 2-drop 15k vanillas.
Hey, but they have combo power.
They do. Also, the art on those two is sick.
Yeah, you know those are going to be hot when they're full art
Full art foils. Oh my god, I need them.
Bro. Yeah, those look pretty cool.
They're so good. And it's more Demon Realm support. I don't know. Actually, I'm going to look this up mid-episode. 1-drop black extra cards. I wonder. Nope, of course it doesn't work. I was hoping Seasoning Arrow said like Dark Demon Realm leader or something like that, but it's specifically Demigra character. Unfortunate. There's also another generic negate. It was like one of the first cards you mentioned to us that night when the video dropped. The Dark King's Flash.
Isn't that the one that just screws Sin Shenron?
Yep, it just scoops Sin Shenron up.
I sat there for a solid like 10 minutes trying to figure out how to get around Sin get around that card, and I was like, yeah, nope.
Yeah, it doesn't
we're just gonna
look
have to play
good.
aggro, boys.
Not looking so good in that department.
Not if you're planning on ulting anytime soon. I mean, it always is like that sideboard effect of if people, you know, like the card exists, so people probably won't play Sin as much, but then people have to play the card to actually counter Sin if they play against Sin.
Yeah, it was like the whole thing I was talking about at Rancho when I almost just said screw it and played Baby.
Yeah. Although
like,
those
people
tiebreaker
won't
rules
be
would not
playing
have favored Baby.
I don't know, dude. I play Baby pretty aggressively.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyways.
But yeah, I think that negate is probably going to push the deck out of the meta.
It'll just change. Because like Sin got a big boost too with that new Sin Shenron. It
That's
lets you
true.
Comes in as a copy of any of your 2 to 4 drop non-Sins. So you can be like a Natron or a Haze.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like a big 30k dude version of that.
Yeah, also random fun fact about that negate. I know it's like a not super popular deck, but it has been kind of popular lately. This also stops reboot hit. They can't play their 2-drop vanilla with the leader effect.
Yeah, if they're at 5 energy.
Not that it's like that important, but
yeah,
it's
so
a
cool.
little extra topping there.
Yeah. Yep. One of the decks that the characters I really like is Turles. I played him back in Panini. He was like my first competitive deck, and I just love the character, even though he's kind of lame in the show. But
I miss
got
Turles.
so much text.
Yeah, he does.
Like, I don't know how something with that much text can't be good. Just like first glance.
It's kind of dumb how much text that card has, honestly.
Also, something to note that I realized is Tree of Might is not a field, so it does not kill your opponent's field in turn 1. which is interesting. It's like the first extra card that stays in play. That's not a field.
Trying to look for the announcement where it has some of them, because only the black and the red cards are up on the other sites.
You could just go to strategy.
Yeah, I just got in there right now. Green. Where's my boy Turles? Kind of sad that it's green.
Turles says
permanent, if a Turles Crusher Corpse is in your battle area, would be put in the drop by one of your skills. It goes to warp instead.
Yeah, so that's like a character trait.
Yeah, and then the auto, like a few other leaders, when you put your leader down, you can put its like namesake card with this. Normally they're a field, but this one it's not, but it's the Tree of Might. You can just put it in your battle area. And then it's on attack. You may take a life, and then you look at the top 5 for a Turles Crusher Corp.
The tree goes in your opponent's battle area.
Oh yes, your opponent's. Sorry, which is very important. So
yes,
the Tree of
the
Might
effects affect the opponent, which would be you in that case.
It says, while in a battle area, this card cannot be placed in drop areas by your skills, so your opponent cannot kill it. Also, reduce the combo cost of all Turles Crusher Core in your opponents, which would be my hand if I'm playing Turles. Reduces all their combo cost by 1, so it's got the old King Vegeta / Chompavados treatment. If all your opponent's energy is mono green, which it should be because it's talking about yours. If the card is placed in your battle area at the start of your main phase, choose one card in your life and flip it face up. If you do, your opponent adds up to 1 Fruit of the Tree of Might from their deck to their hand.
And so that card, really quick, says it's a 1-cost extra card, activate battle. If your leader is Turles Crusher Core, all of your energy is mono green, and you flip one of your opponent's life face down, choose one of your leader or battle cards. It gets 20k for the battle. If the chosen card is a Turles, it also gains double strike. So 1 cost, 20k double strike.
This is
that you get to tutor every turn.
Crack and space time on crack.
Plus. Yeah. That's pretty good. Like, Turles is going to smack you in the face, basically.
Yeah, it's another like leader-based green aggro deck. But it's probably a better best of 3 deck than Reboot Gohan is. Just because I feel like it's going to have a little bit more staying power. Like in best of 3, Reboot Gohan just gets hard checked because like every deck has some sort of out to it now.
Right.
I think except black. But yeah, some of the Turles stuff is sweet. The other one is Lord Slug, which is kind of weird because it does like the exact opposite of what the old Lord Slug stuff wants to do. What else? I already talked about Janemba. That deck looks actually insane.
It looks pretty sweet.
The elephant in the room that we didn't talk about yet. We have a new Gogeta 7 that's really an 8-drop.
Yes. Where is it? Let me find it. But
So,
that card...
It EX evolves onto a blue Gogeta 5-drop for 2 blue. It's 30k double duel. The auto, when you play it or your opponent activates a battle card skill, you get to bounce 2 of their battle cards. That's effect number 1.
That's both turns as well.
Yes.
So that's very, very good.
Effect number 2. This is the one that's not okay. If your leader card is mono blue and you have 6 or fewer cards in your hand, At the end of your opponent's turn, they choose 3 cards in their hand and bottom deck the rest. And that's not like a on the turn it's played thing. That's a every one of your opponent's turn thing.
Yeah,
it is kind of balanced though, because it says opponent's turn.
Yeah, as well as it's not barrier, it's not deflect.
He is,
but it is
still
good.
A beefy boy.
It is still good,
and it's a good target for the secret. Although I don't know how playable the secret is.
Secret, especially, all it does is like put stuff your fusion.
Yeah, it's a 40k crit that can like bottom deck Gokus and Vegetas from your drop to restand it. I still think if you're in mono blue, you should just play Baby Hatch because it's like the best secret in the
definitely.
game.
But I think you play this Gogeta now, and you either play it for 8 or maybe tech in like a 3-2 split of the 5 drops.
Well, there's the new 5 drop also.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're printing a new one
that you can. Let's see. So activate main is 3 blue if your leader is a blue Pycon, so it's restricted to the Pycon leader. You get to put the 1-drop Goku and Vegetas from your deck into your drop area. So that's interesting. So you're fusioning from your deck, basically.
Yeah.
And then you get to play this. So that's kind of cool.
Right. And then you can pay 1 more to essentially go into the 8-drop as long as you have 4 energy. So for 4 energy, you can get out the 8-drop, which is cool. It's actually pretty alright.
What is kind of awkward? Well, if you use the effect for the 1 blue energy, you have to burst 1, and you only play the 8-drop on it if that was the card you bursted. So I don't think you're doing that. I think for the 8 drops, you're just gonna do the 2 energy EX evolve.
Well, the leader, he when he swings and stuff, he scries 2, take 1, put 1 back. That's his whole shtick. He sensei divining top the leader.
So maybe if you sandbag an 8-drop, you could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, because you could get there.
Yeah.
Also, well, no, doesn't really work. Yeah. I think just playing that card for 8 is all right, because unless you're playing against blue, it's gonna stick.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the effect is cool, actually pretty good. Like if you're against hand control and you're playing blue and you get to like 8 energy somehow and you just slap that down.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, your hand is low. And you're like, oh, well, your hand is gone.
Yep. It happens. All right. So.
And you refill their hand.
That's true.
Bounce them back, which is funny.
Yellow stuff. We got the whole Whis deck, which is cool that we're finally getting a Whis leader.
But it's so boring.
It is boring and seems very, very not good.
It's just skillless stuff. It's boring.
The other yellow leader, on the other hand, is very interesting. It's the new Frieza, the one where you lose by having all of your life flipped up.
Mm-hmm.
The field card for it is insane. A lot of really cool effects and stuff in that deck. The Ginyu Unison is pretty cool because it's when he transforms into Goku.
Right.
So pretty cool. Has Rejuvenate, as does a lot of stuff for the set.
This 5-drop Frieza is interesting. Deflect, double strike, blocker with a whole bunch of text. That tells me it's got to be all right at least.
Yeah, that auto at the bottom is cool. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a counter attack, you choose up to 2 of their cards, switch them to rest mode, and they do not untap until the end of your opponent's next turn.
That's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And it's, I mean, it's once per turn auto, but that's still pretty good. Like lock down 2 of their energy or 2 of their threats. This also can lock down a unison. So that's important
which
to
we
note.
know is useful. Also, I'm just checking something. It is a 5-drop Frieza, which has a certain number of evolve things that can go on top of it, such as the set 1 Frieza, which is cool. Because if you keep things rested, that set 1 Frieza kills those things that are rested.
Oh, that's right. The big one that Trader Dende plays.
Yeah. Let's see. Is he a U7? That new Frieza?
No.
Dang.
He's
If
Frieza
he was-
Army, Frieza Clan.
If he was U7, you could play the U7 Frieza, which that
Emperor.
card's pretty snapped.
Yeah. That was the
But he's
first
not.
thing I looked for too. I just always
Okay,
look
well,
for that to see if I can play it because it's so dumb.
Bro, that card's stupid.
I guess what you can do, you can play the red one where you can like put it into play for, I think it's 4 colorless energy. That one is a U7 5-drop.
Oh, yeah, true.
Not saying it's the best, but could work. The King Piccolo stuff is interesting, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but it is cool seeing more stuff for that leader or that character.
Yeah, it's just generically good red stuff pretty much all around.
But I think what is taking the cake for red is going to be launch. It's just so unique, and like we don't really see a whole lot of stuff from like that early in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, that's kind of what this whole set's kind of all about, is just like the earlier series people for the most
Yeah,
part.
so it feels like
Well,
red
some of
is
it.
like old Dragon Ball. Blue, we've got like the Janemba. It's basically the Janemba movie. Green, we've got 2 villain movies also, Lord Slug and Turles. Yellow is Whis, so it's obviously DBS. We've got Cocoon Frieza, which I guess is technically also Super, but then like it's got a Ginyu Unison, which is weird. I don't know. We'll just call it Frieza throughout history.
Yeah, one of the final things I wanted to talk about a little bit with the set 12 stuff is the ultimate deck. So the ultimate deck is essentially Dragon Ball's version of, what were they called in Magic? They had them, they were like F&M decks or something. Friday night Magic deck. Anyways, it's like a pre-con that's better than a pre-con, meant to be played out of the box.
They were the standard challenger decks.
Yeah. And so that's kind of what this is supposed to be, which is cool. It's its own archetype, which is also cool. It's going to be all the Xeno creatures, essentially, like 5-color Xeno mash thing, which I think is cool.
Yeah, I'm
Chikabura
personally
fits right in.
excited for that.
It just has a bunch of, you get to play like all the evil people.
There's
which is
also
kind of
some
cool.
good reprints in there.
Yeah, you got Protector of the People at a 2 of, which is, it used to be a $25 card. Now it's like a little bit less, but that's really good value right there. It's probably non-foil though.
That's
guessing.
fine. I mean, it's got some BMS. It has both of the Frieza Xenos from set 10. Let's see, we've got, it's got the 2 non-SR Dark Broly's from set 11. Got some Topos. It has the crit counter Frieza
Yeah.
and Protector of the People. So there's some decent value in it.
Yeah, it'll probably be valued at like, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks or something, which is pretty sweet. I think 20 bucks is fine.
Yeah, 2 of those crit Friezas, 2 Topos, 2 Protector. That's some good value.
Yeah. So that's kind of exciting. Just it's a good thing to see, especially for more casual players that just want a little bit more playable deck out of the box. It'll be a nice product to pick up.
Yeah, and there's 9 expansion unique cards. This is technically counting as an expansion.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
there's the leader and then 9 actual cards in the deck, but there's 2 of each, so it's 18. So that'll be cool. And it also comes with a booster pack of that set.
That's pretty sweet. So
Yeah,
yeah, we
it
can
says-
expect those to be expert deck prices then.
It
which is
says
like
MSRP
18
is
bucks.
$20. Yeah.
Yeah, so $20 or whatever. Yeah, that's really cool.
I'm stoked. I love that whole like Xeno thing.
Yeah, they're quite interesting, especially for like being the villains, because like we've had some kind of meh villain decks lately.
Yeah. It'll be cool. I'm in.
Yeah, I'm excited for those.
Same. All right.
Yeah,
so
that wraps up our set 12 discussion from the spoiler videos, and we wanted to talk about something a little bit new because, like I mentioned before, we are a multi-game podcast. We talk about Magic, Dragon Ball, all kinds of things, and so we're just going to talk about the new game that just came out for a pre-release, which is the Digimon card game.
yeah, so I mean, I know we went a little bit long on the other stuff, so we won't get to talk Digimon as much this episode. But what were your first impressions? I know you didn't get to do a pre-release, but we've gotten together with our little local group and played for a couple nights. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I was a little bit weary going into it because I already played Dragon Ball. I've played several other card games, and I was just kind of like, I was told actually that the system is the same as Chrono Clash, which I haven't played before, but I've been told it's like not great. And so I was like, whatever, this game's kind of whatever, lame or anyways. But I ended up picking up, there was like so much hype going on and all of our local friends were playing, and I was like, all right, well, I'll just buy a starter deck and I'll get red because it's my favorite color and basically every game I play, and we'll just see how it goes. So picked up starter deck, and I ended up picking up a box, which was unexpected, but ended up working out cool because product's super limited right now. Played a few games, and I actually really like it a lot.
Yeah,
The
that's
game is
kind of how I felt also.
Yeah, the game's a lot more complex than I thought. I was thinking going into it that it's going to be like Pokemon style, but
which I mean, it does feel like there's a little bit of that element with like how much you can cycle and stuff, and how much card draw you can have on your own turn, which is kind of Pokemon-esque, but I feel like the actual gameplay is not.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's interesting because there's the main thing that like throws it off from every other game is there's no mulligan.
Yeah, that is also unique and very weird.
I've had like several teammates and stuff say the game's like super sacky and they just don't like it. But I kind of like that aspect of it of like, oh, you didn't open a rookie, which is a level 3. You're like your starter basically.
Yeah,
Those
are what
people are
starts your card draw engines.
Yeah, and so people are basically saying like, if you don't open a rookie, you're screwed. But at the same time, there's more complex interactions than that, in the sense of you could hard cast a level 4 and go up the chain from there.
That way,
you could do a 4 into a 5, or like even hard, like if you don't open a rookie and you're going second and you just hard cast a mega on turn 1 and that's your whole turn, like that's an actual deck.
Yeah. I know that was in one of our local area's chats the other day. Is someone discovered that for the first time, and I was like, oh yeah, that's Mega Zoo. That's what the deck does. They just play really big things and don't care how much resource that gives you.
Right, because it's like if everything in my deck is a beater that
Is
has
a-
some
Is
crazy
a
effects.
big beater with crazy effects, all of them.
Yeah, all of them. Like I don't care how much I give you, how much memory I give you, because essentially how it works is there's like a number scale, and imagine your side is +10 and your opponent's is -10, and once you dip into negative, it becomes your opponent's turn, but you can play anything that costs up to -10 if you're at 0, and it'll just put them all the way to 10 or whatever. So you could play a 10 drop when you're at 0, or you could potentially, if you're at 10, you could play a 20 drop and it'll put them at -10. But so that's kind of how it works, going back and forth on that like timeline or number line system.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like Tim was saying, the Mega Zoo thing is an actual deck. And then if you don't like not getting a level 3, you can just play Rookie Rush, which is another deck that's really good.
Yeah,
where
that's
they
your
spam out
typical
rookies.
low to the ground aggro, just punch them deck. Which
Right.
I built before I headed over to your house the other night, just because it was really easy to put together, and
Yeah, I think
I didn't
it's
have
only
to
like
look for stuff I didn't
rares.
have. There's only a few rares in the deck, like maybe 12 or 16 cards total. That's like including the 4 of copies. So like
Yeah,
there's only
so
like 4 actual rares.
it's basically the budget deck.
Yeah. Downside to that deck is you don't draw a whole lot because you're not digivolving, but it doesn't matter because you're killing them.
Right. So
But yeah, I like that there's a lot of diversity amongst decks you can build. Like they all do. It feels like the colors have their own distinct thing they're doing, but even within those colors, like different decks can do pretty different things.
yeah, I mean, if you just look at red, for example, right? So you have your level 6s are pretty much what defines any deck that you're playing if you're playing monocolor. And so you have Wargreymon, who doesn't hit, he's basically like double strike, and then he doesn't hit security checks, which is essentially like crit pretty much. Because the way it works is when you attack their life, it's called security checking. They flip a card, and based on the power of that card, if it's bigger than you, it kills you, and you trade.
Yeah.
But Wargreymon just goes right through. He doesn't care what it is. He just says, "No, I don't check. I just kill your life." And then you have Gallantmon, who is like the anti-purple card. If your opponent's drop is gigantic, he just burns them when he swings.
Yeah, he just burns their life.
And so, just like all these crazy different finishers changes your deck, and then each color does a whole different thing. It's really interesting. I like it a lot. There's a lot of intricacies and complexity in the basic stuff.
It kind of feels like
forget about.
Like you're playing checkers and chess at the same time.
I would agree with that. It's also like
I guess if you had to compare card games, it kind of feels like DBS and Pokemon combined. I would say are like the closest ones.
Yeah, it's just different. That's what I like about it, It's something different.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's like better than Dragon Ball, because that's my primary game.
It's
but
just
it's a
different
nice change
and
up.
it's refreshing.
Yeah, and I would actually encourage people like, our listeners and everyone, and if you guys have people that are getting burnt out of Dragon Ball or something, encourage them to pick up another card game or
just another hobby thing, even if it's like video games or something.
Yeah, and then just play the heck out of it or whatever for a while, and then go back to your main thing, because
burnout is a real thing.
That's like the whole reason Tim came over to Dragon Ball.
Way too much legacy in way too short of a time period.
Right. And so, you never know what that's going to do for you.
Yep.
And it also enhances your skills in because all card games take the same set of skills. calculations, sequencing, deck building, mathematics.
Yeah, they're in
reading
all
your
card
opponent.
games.
It's all the same. It's just a matter of understanding the format at that point. And so if you can master those skills in other games that maybe haven't grown to the complexity level of Dragon Ball, then you're a leg up on people.
I would have to agree with that.
Yeah, so we just wanted to let you guys know we're playing Digimon. It's fun. It's really fun.
Yeah, so anyone listening, if you guys want to comment either on the YouTube video or Facebook post or anything, talk Digimon to us. I mean, it's a new game. There's a lot of stuff for a lot of people to learn, and we want to encourage that. We want to help not just Dragon Ball, but Digimon and even other games continue to grow.
Yeah. And just another reminder, we are multi-game podcast, so we will be doing potentially some episodes just Dragon Ball, some just Magic, some just Digimon. It's just a matter of what's gonna, what kind of we're doing at the time, what events are happening. Dragon Ball events are a little stale right now, so that we hopped over to Digimon for a while, but there's also going to be basically no events. But yeah, so, and then if there's anything you guys want us to talk about, like a particular deck, or if you want to learn how to cook some good hot wings or something, I made them the other night when the guys were over. We could do that if you want. Just comment down, in the description.
Give us some feedback, fun topics, anything like that. Another thing I want to throw in before we close out, if there's anything you guys want to see as far as like YouTube or streaming or anything, let us know. Let me know. If it's Magic related, I can play MTGO, I can play Arena. I may not have everything for it, so like playing Draft is ideal, or when Vintage Cube comes up for Magic, that's like my favorite. Or even like other video games like Squadrons, Apex, even some Among Us, and anything you guys want to see, let us know. Give us some ideas for extra supplemental content we can do and keep you guys engaged.
Yep. And anything, I think that's about it. We can wrap it up.
Yeah, sounds good with me.
Alrighty, guys. This is the Sideboard Podcast. If you are good at Apex Legends, come carry me. Check it out. See ya.
Peace.